Welcome to my home garage. So today we have a 1.5 liter EcoBoost 2017 Escape, and all right guys, so if you look down at everything you need to inspect, so check for corrosion, incorrect connections, exhaust leak, contaminated O2 sensor. All right, so our first step is we're going to go to pinpoint test DZ. This is exactly the Ford instructions. So now when we're here, we're going to go to find our code. And is it present? Yes. So our code, we go to DZ18. So now we're going to go to that part of the section and what we're going to inspect. So DZ18, we're going to carry off the key on engine running. This is one of the most important parts. Do this. Get the engine thermal operating temperature and then run the key on engine running self-test, which is how you check for codes and all that. So let's assume that there's no other DTTs present. Then we are going to go to DZ19, where I have my arrows laid out. So DZ19 is where we're going to check all those items. So let's assume no. So the next possible step is to literally just replace the sensor. If there's no exhaust leak and there's nothing else obvious like corrosion on connectors, which you check, you replace the oxygen sensor. But the most important part is that after we change that oxygen sensor, do not just do a key on, engine off code erase. You need to run a key on, engine running code erase and self-check, or the secondary O2 sensor code that you had, the P2096, will come back. So remember that. And we have a secondary O2 sensor code reading lean. I will post that code up on the screen. And considering the cost of the sensor, we are just going to replace the sensor, and then we are going to monitor the data and see if that is the cause of the problem. Could be a leaky exhaust. There are a bunch of reasons you could have this code, but the most logical with this age of vehicle is probably just a bad sensor, because the fuel trims are reading fine and I don't hear an exhaust leak, but we will check it out once we get underneath. So let's get at it. So now we have quite a challenging little problem. We have our O2 sensor connector that's buried underneath here somewhere. I don't even know, I'm not even 100% sure where. So I guess we got to start removing all these intake ducts to get there. I don't know another way to do it. The battery's there. Okay, so I might have to get that. I don't know. Looks like I'm gonna have to get this. Yeah, but then you got this hose here. You got it out of the way. It looks like you might have to like get this whole undercarriage out of the way. I don't know, because I know it's behind there. Give me a second. Obviously, I had to get an espresso just to deal with this mess, because it's way more work than I thought it was going to be. I thought this was going to be a simple in and out. Nope. Ford's infinite wisdom. You got to pull the intake box out. You got to pull this out. You got to pull that out. Like, come on, man. What the heck? All right, well, I guess time to get to work. Pulling shit apart. So first thing I did is I pulled the battery cover from under there off. Let's see what size these are. Well, they're definitely not a size 7, so that means they're a size 8. Alright, size 8. Beautiful. Each price changes. There's one more down there. Those 4. Alright. Okay, I guess that's all 4 of them. Alright, pull that up. Oh, filter's dirty. Needs a filter. I'll let him know. Filter's out. Okay, so what's next? I guess this box comes out. How does this box come out? Let's see. Okay. I guess first, it's here, it's hooked on right here. You gotta take those two out. See if we can just do it with this 8. There we go. This is just, an oxygen sensor should be something easily accessible. And here we have an oxygen sensor that is definitely not easily accessible. So, I mean, thank you for that. Okay, we'll get a wrench down in there, get it out. Sure you don't lose your bolt. Just get it in there. Okay, what else? Something else supposed to be holding this in. Probably just rubber. Let's see. Let's see if this is all out. Okay, there. Once you get both those two screws off, this hose will go out of the way. And I believe this one should just pop up. Let me take a better look at this. Okay. Okay, there. Something's holding this in. There we go. Okay, so. Okay, there we go. What we got? Okay, we got another rubber tab back there. Just a genius. I love it. What a good design. So that tab fits in back there. Okay, so one more box out. Okay, so now we got these straps here. So this is for cold weather to get the car started. Okay. So let's see, we're gonna disconnect 10 mils, probably 10 mil for the battery. Let's check it out. You should technically always disconnect the negative lead first, but you can't get to the negative lead on this car. Okay. Okay. Done. Okay. What do we got here? We got what looks like a weird fuse cover. How does it work? Oh, it just slides up like so. Alright, and then what does it do? Does it come all the way forward and lay down, or what does it do here? Let's see. Okay. All right, so you can kind of split the box open. I'm gonna try to disconnect some of those connectors down there. Just not the connectors, but the clips that hold this in. Here's your ground strap. That's fine. All right. So once you do that, technically this thing should just pop out. Yeah, there. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so take this one off. You want to try and get it. Don't break those clips. Do your best. Okay. There's one more there. So right now the battery's disconnected, so you don't have to be too worried about everything. Okay. Okay, there's one more down there. Once we get this one off, we should be able to get this out of here. Okay, let's see. Hold on. You guys see that? There we go. Okay. Okay, so this is disconnected. There we go. Now we can fold this down, which is exactly what they said to do. And then technically now we should be able to, I guess, remove whatever holds this battery down. So there's actually, if you look in there, there's a bracket with a 10 mil. I don't know if you guys can see that. Take a look. Do you guys see him put the spotlight on it? Look, that 10 mil there, right there, and then there's one on the opposite side, right there. So we're gonna remove both those two. So I'm gonna remove those two with a, this is an 8. We probably want a 10 to get in there properly. We'll get a 10. Drink a bit of our espresso. Get it right in there. You can see better. Yeah, now that it's disconnected, it won't matter. There's one. Oh man, just to get to a connector. This is nuts. What a great day. Okay, there's just enough room to get this in there. Okay. Alright, so get our bracket off. There it is. Now I think we should be able to slide this out. This is nuts. This is what you're gonna do to get this out of here? Okay. Oh God. Okay. Oh. Okay. How do I get to the ground? Oh, this is not designed to ever come out, I don't think. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Okay, so we got another cable there. Okay, so disconnect your, there's a sensor on the terminal. So we're going to disconnect that. Actually, first we'll take this out right here. See if that's true. Okay. One. Oh man, that was barely doing anything. Okay, yeah, okay. Got a little bit more room now. I still can't see the connector. Okay, so I can see this. Alright, there, I disconnected the sensor wire. So just slide the harness over. Okay, now you should still be able to keep removing the battery. So you're gonna have to remember this order of how this came out. Okay. This is dumb. This is how you install this battery. Like, this is one of the dumbest designs I have ever seen in my life. Okay. So now the battery's out. The amount of things that have to come out to get to this. Okay. So I can put this out to the side. Here's our sensor. Careful because it wraps around the box. Okay, so now everything's out of the way. So now we can get our 10 mil and remove those. All right. So now we can get the 10 mils in the box. I hope. Okay. I hope that's all of them. Oh, I guess we'll take it all the way out. Yeah, there we go. Let's see, what else can be holding this box in place? Okay, there's a tab here in the back. Oh, and there's one more. So right deep inside there's a hole. There it is. It has a bigger washer. You can't mess it up. Okay, and now I think we can get this out. I believe so. Don't see anything else holding this in place. Okay, just make sure the wiring, you don't damage any of the wiring. Alright. Something's still tugging on this thing. Oh man, there's a harness bracket over here. Okay, so right here on the edge is the harness bracket. So you're gonna have to, you're gonna have to remove that, I guess. What a genius! The genius! Oh my God! It's a really the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. What the hell? Can I get to the sensor without taking all of this out? Oh my God, you cannot. I can't even see it. Okay, so what is it like? Okay, I think it's this one, and then it just pries off over there. So let's give that a shot. What size is that? My dear God. Okay, hold on. Let me just find the right size for this. So it's a T20. Just do your best to get this in here straight. Don't break it. Don't lose that screw. All right. And now I believe the bracket is held on the other side by a tab. So you're gonna have to get in there and. Oh, great. Well, it fell on the floor. You heard it. Okay. What the heck's still holding this? Okay. Sorry. Like, is this thing designed to come out? Try and move everything out of the way. Best you can. You don't want this. Okay. What is this thing hung up on? Okay, there. No, now it's stuck on something else. What is this thing stuck on? Okay, so this thing, this hole here, I don't know how you're supposed to get this out, but I guess it comes out somehow. I don't know how. Okay. Okay, you gotta just ream it out of there. What a freaking dumb design. That is one of the worst designs. And oh, and you put a ground behind there. Oh, smart. All right, so I still don't even see it. Where's this connector? I don't even know. I don't see it still. I don't even see it. Still, I don't see. What? It's under this hose? Under here? Oh God! Why did I need to take this out then? I just moved this thing. Oh, because to take that hose out. Oh God! All right, so you still gotta remove this connector. No, we can just take two hoses. Okay. Oh, and there's a PCV there too. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so we're gonna remove this hose. So I believe it's a. So take a look. The hose, the O2 sensor routes through here, underneath this hose, through there, and then the connector's up here. So just think about it. Even you're gonna have to route it through here all the way back down. So that's what this is right here. This is the connector harness, and I'm gonna pull it out best as I can, or just shove it in here, and then we're gonna get it through the bottom. Okay, guys. So from underneath, there's your wire, right? And it's going up through in there somewhere. So pretty much it's all feel. You're gonna have to remember where this connector goes and how this wiring goes in there, because honestly it's hard to tell. So once you have your wire hanging down, your sensor is right there. So we're gonna have to get a socket on that to remove. Okay guys, so what I had to do was cut off the wire. Okay, so you can get a wrench on there, a 22 mil, to pop it loose, because or else I could not do it. The oxygen sensor socket just didn't have enough grip. So it looks like it's off now. Give me a second. Here's our secondary oxygen sensor socket. Well, lots of soot on there. The threads still look okay. Let me take a look as best we can in the hole. We can't even see it. Okay, so let's get the new one in there. Let's compare the old to new. So this is a Bosch unit, which they claim is the OE sensor for this car, even though Motorcraft normally makes all their stuff. Made in the USA. All right. All right. I believe that Bosch is the OE for this, and I'll show you why. I gotta clean up the old sensor. I'm gonna clean up the old sensor first, and I'll show you guys what I mean. So let me just get something to clean this off. Okay, if you take a look closely at that sensor, it's kind of written off what's there, but if you look closely, all right, you'll see that it's the same color wiring as this Bosch one, in the same way that the lettering's laid out. If you take a look, lettering's laid out similar. You just can't see it because it's not engraved. But let's get this one in. It's already got anti-seize on it. All right. So I'm just gonna give it the good and tight, and then we'll see what happens. Right? We'll have to run the wiring again. So I'm gonna shove the wiring up as deep as I can. All right, guys. So what we're gonna do now is, obviously, we have to locate that wire that we pushed up through here. So that's what I'm gonna be doing right now. Just trying to. Oh, here it is. Got it. Okay, so yeah, it's not that hard. It's just with the hood closed, it looks like it's written. So yeah, from here, you can do it properly. You just got to get it up just above the catalytic converter, and then you'll see the wire. And then you just got to run it the same way that you removed it, if you remember how. So just follow the other wire. It's pretty simple, and then just connect it into the same area, the same loops. All right, same thing, connect it into the loop, and then look, I'm already here. I'm not saying that this is good. This is ridiculous. This is the hardest O2 sensor. I mean, I don't know. There might be harder O2 sensors, but not on what's supposed to be an economy car. So here's the connector, right? So we're gonna connect it up. See right there? Done. Our connector is plugged in. Make sure there's no wiring damage. That would be step 2. Okay. So now start closing your looms. There. 1. Get your primary and secondary wiring in your other loom. 1, 2. Close it. And then, yeah, the wire pretty much, it just hangs around and it's there. Now I'll show you what we're looking at here. Okay. Follow it's the dark color one. See this one here? This is the primary. The secondary one is right behind it, right there. So it goes through there, and then it just winds down, and it goes on that clip on the cat, okay? And then the connector is right there. Okay? Right, connector's right there. Okay, so it is connected now. So it's connected. We're gonna put everything back together now. So all these pipes back together, and that's pretty much it. I'm not saying it's hard. I'm just saying it's crazy amount of work for what it is, which is just an oxygen sensor. Like I mean, personally, I think it's an absurd amount of work. Like, this is supposed to be the type of part that someone technically could fix themselves, right? Do you think someone could fix that themselves? I don't think there's a chance in hell that anyone could fix themselves. So let me just make sure that there's nothing here. Okay. And now I can tighten that first hose. We just want to make sure that this is level, like so. Okay. So now we're going to tighten that first hose in the back. That's it. Okay, that's tight. All right, so next our box can go back on. So gotta shove it down in there pretty much. And then we gotta put this bracket on. Okay. So pretty much we gotta shove our box back in. And that is the next step. All right, so here we are. So this box pretty much just gets shoved in there. Just keep an eye on your wiring, make sure it doesn't get hooked on anything. And yeah, it's pretty much just about getting caught on wiring. Okay. There. You kind of have to tilt it to get it caught on. There, just work it back in there. Oh, bam. There we go. Okay. So once you have that in place, get your washers. All right, so we got 3. The 2 small ones go in the front, and the big boy goes in the back, inside the hole. So we're just gonna get it started by hand. We'll make sure they're lined up anyways. Once you get 2 lined up, the other one will line itself up. There we go. It should fall in a hole. So 1, 2 here. There we go. Now get your 10 mil on. Sorry guys, the camera turned off, but I don't even remember where I was, but pretty much we put in that screw there and a plastic tab that's just behind it, and you line up this bracket here with this cover. And the next step is putting this on. Oh, why did that turn off? And this is pretty easy. That's it. Okay, so the next step I believe is the battery that goes in. So stupid design. Like, you gotta connect your ground halfway in. Like, who designs this? Oh god, horrible, just atrocious design, man. All right, so now we gotta pick up a battery. Lay it halfway in here, connect our ground, but it doesn't connect like that. Our ground connects kind of like that, on that angle. So it's not even like it connects on a reasonable angle. It's not, it's like that. Okay, now we gotta leave it like that. Get our 10, tighten that baby up. Okay, that's tight. Now we can slide this battery in. Like, this is silly. right? This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. I mean, there's dumber batteries. There's dumber batteries, but I mean, put in the trunk. You know what I mean? All right, so let's just get this thing all the way in there. There we go. Okay, now same thing. We got to get our our battery sensor. It fits into a slit in the cover, and then it connects into the sensor. You hear the clip? Okay, it's in. All right, now we can get our battery bracket back on. Battery bracket, just pretty cut and dry where it goes. Okay, 2 10 mils, one on each side. Oh my God, I almost lost that. Don't lose them. Stubby 10 in this, and you can get it on. Okay, now we got our cover here. Okay, so pop it back in between here. So literally all it does is slide it in between there. So you just gotta kind of work it in place, and there it just clips down. It's pretty easy. That one's pretty easy. Okay, so get all our tabs back in. This is for probably our ground or our power distribution or wiring coming from fuse box. So now we can connect our positive. Okay, make sure you get it on there nice. Tighten it up. That's it. Okay, and get our battery cover back on. Like this just kind of was sitting here. I didn't even. There. I guess that's it. That's how it goes on. I don't know. Okay, there. Okay, it's on now. Okay, now we have an intake box to go back in, but before that, we have this that goes here. Okay, this goes over here. Oh man, I don't remember where this was. Probably here somewhere. Okay. Then we got our intake box, which is right here. All right, and the hardest part is probably getting that in that hole back there. So just kind of, you gotta massage things out of the way a bit. Like, how did this thing go in here? Okay. Okay. Let me just see. How did I get this thing in here? Okay, maybe like that. There you go. Okay. There we go. All right. Okay, all right, so now this goes in here like so. Okay, this must go in a certain way. Oh, that's why. There. So just make sure your holes are lined up. Same idea, you gotta get this to line up. Okay, there's one more down here. Okay. Check with your wrench, double check it. Okay. Make sure that there's no wires loose or anything disconnected that you might have forgot about. So just look inside, look at everything. Make sure that's not the case. Okay. This rubber just peels back like that. That one right there. This is good. Everything's on tight. Get our filter. But we'll put this one back in for now. Alright. Okay, now our cover. Pretty sure that's everything we could have got to. There's no screws left. Didn't unplug any other. Never unplug more stuff than you need to. Pretty much. Good. Just make sure that everything's connected. Just make sure the thing is lined up. Okay, that's not lined up. Okay, this side of the filter has to be fit in the box. Okay. It's not inside the box and it's not going to fit. Okay, now we're good. I guess that's what retains how tight it gets. Okay. Double check all your there we go. Okay. Good. Do the hard ones to reach first. This doesn't require a lot of torque. Not a lot of torque. That's it. That's it. Okay. So that's that. So now we're going to start up the vehicle and we're going to run it and check the oil level. And then we're going to go underneath, put the covers on, and then scan for codes. And then confirm that this O2 sensor fixed the vehicle, hopefully. All right. Other than that, everything else here is good. So that's what we're going to do right now. Just going to start the vehicle, and then we'll check the oil level. Okay, so the oil level is a little low, so it might take more than 4.1. So we'll add a bit after we get the bottom covers on. Let's just inspect for leaks. As we can see, even though the battery was disconnected, it did not delete the code. These have keep alive memory, so even when the battery is disconnected, it has internally. So we'll read the code. It should be secondary key off, key on, engine off. It has to go through a whole routine, these Fords. This is just to check codes. All this routine. It's just kind of ridiculous. Yep, still going. Still going. Yep, 2 lane. Okay, we know. Okay. Let's erase the codes. Ignition, key on, ignition off, obviously. Okay.
Okay, there's no more codes. Let's go back in.